Hey everyone, it's Steve Lookner with Agenda Free TV. There is a large protest underway in Mexico City, and we want to give you some coverage of it. There's a huge law enforcement presence at this protest. Just 5 days ago, there was a violent protest in Mexico City. So I don't know what's going to happen here, but there's a lot of law enforcement at this protest right now. So we are looking at a live shot. This Gen Z protest movement, some of what they are protesting is violence in Mexico City. Now, I don't know if I'll have another stream here. I was hoping to have a second stream. I only have this one right now.
¡Qué valientes bloquear manifestantes! 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 ¡Qué valientes bloquear manifestantes!
Graben esos pinches puercos.
Give me a moment here. I'm just getting organized. Okay, so
México unido jamás será vencido. México unido jamás será vencido. Es un derecho, mi voz no es desorden. Es un derecho, mi voz no es desorden. Es un derecho, mi voz no es desorden. Es un derecho.
So that sign, Fuera Moreno Narco Gobierno, means out with the Morena narco government. Morena is the current ruling party. So 5 days ago, there were violent protests, some violent in Mexico, against violence in the country, partially sparked by the public killing of an anti-crime mayor earlier this month. That's according to Reuters. So today there are protesters out again. There are a lot of law enforcement out there. So we're just going to see what happens here. And 100 police officers on Saturday were reportedly injured. So, I mean, not all the protesters believe the same things, but a lot of them are protesting against violence in Mexico, dissatisfaction with how the state stops crime and violence and wanting the state to do more. Reuters says a group calling itself Generation Z Mexico that called for the protests on Saturday has said in a manifesto circulating on social media that it represents Mexican youth that are fed up with violence, corruption, and abuse of power. So I don't know what's going to happen here today. But again, 5 days ago, it got quite intense in Mexico City. And there are a lot of, you can see it, Look at all the law enforcement right here. Look at the law enforcement presence right here. There. That's a huge amount of riot police, it looks like. They're saying narco presidenta, narco president, implying that the president has ties to, I guess, drug cartels. That would be the implication. Oops.
También pobre de los agricultores, los traen bien castigados. Encima de eso, la inseguridad y la extorsión que se vive en los estados. Yo, a pesar de que soy de la Ciudad de México, he vivido en el estado y sé lo triste que es el miedo con el que viven los campesinos.
Que se vayan los puercos.
Ni hacer nada malo. Vámonos a los lados. Hay que se queden paraditos. Por favor. No, vámonos a los lados, nada más. A los lados ya hay que se queden ellos.
Que se queden como pendejos, como que son, como pendejos.
No nos vamos ahí, vámonos.
Sí, que se queden ahí parados.
Sí, es mejor. Ahí va a estar, la prensa está todo lo largo, yo ya recorrí.
Our viewer CCC claims it's a right-wing organized protest sponsored by a foreign government that wants to destabilize Mexico's real democracy. That's what our viewer CCC 2011112 says. Thanks, by the way, CCC 2011112. I appreciate it. The government, the Sheinbaum government, had claimed that last weekend's protests had been at least, well, I want to get this correct here, so I'll tell you. But I believe that the Sheinbaum government had made similar accusations about the protests on Saturday.
No les rueguen, no les estén rogando, aquí nos quedamos. No les rueguen, aquí nos quedamos.
Los que se tienen que ir son los pinches puercos.
Que se tienen que ir
no
son
tienen
ellos.
facultad para estar chingando al pueblo.
Disculpa,
We're going to give you some more background on this. Give me a moment here.
Carlos no murió, el gobierno lo mató. Carlos no murió, el gobierno lo mató. Carlos no murió, el gobierno lo mató. Carlos no murió, el gobierno lo mató.
Y con eso te voy a decir si es de aquí o no.
Ella misma protestó.
Reuters says that the Sheinbaum government has questioned the motives behind the marches in Mexico on Saturday, claiming they were organized in large part by right-leaning political opponents and promoted by bots on social media. Again, a large, very large, it looks like, law enforcement presence out there today at this protest. So we'll see what happens. I don't even know if they're going to be allowed to march. It looks to me like this is supposed to be a march, but there's a lot of law enforcement there. I don't know if they're keeping them from marching or what. You know, there was a bunch of violence on Saturday between protesters and law enforcement at, I think it was the Zocalo in Mexico City. Which is where the federal government is located, yes. So they're not at the Zocalo, which is the main public, the biggest public square, the most important public square. And I believe they're supposed to be marching over to the Zocalo today, from what I read. But I don't know if they're going to be allowed to march over there today. So we'll keep an eye on it and see. Thanks, by the way, to Adrian Goodman for being a member. And also CCC201112, who thinks youth in Mexico never had the opportunities that they have now to achieve a better life. Thanks, Dominique Camera. There was a bunch of reporting a number of days ago, like on Saturday, after the violent protest in Mexico City on Saturday, a bunch of outlets, Reuters, New York Times, lots of outlets were reporting on that then. This is a new protest today. Again, I don't know what's going to happen today. There's a lot of law enforcement out there, but we'll have to see what happens. Thank you so much, Dominique Camara, Sherry94, our member, and Sheila Dazzle, our member. Also, shout out to our moderators. I hope we have this stream for a little while, by the way. I was supposed to have some other streams, but I don't have any at the moment. So we'll see what happens. Thank you to Roberts Mayqueen, who's moderating right now. Thank you, Roberts Mayqueen. And thank you to our Twitch moderators like LB Prairie Dawn, Matthew Kohai 3, McBritches, Sarah, and Papa Bear. Speaking of Twitch, thanks to Meat Missile. Meat Missile, thanks for the gift sub. And thanks to our Facebook moderators too. Moderators like LB Prairie Dawn, Margaret Riley is moderating. Thank you. Thanks Sharon, Klaas, and Goslin for subscribing. So when they pan over, you'll see there is a large amount of officers there. Yeah, so one of the news outlets in Mexico I'm following, Diario 24 Horas, says that the troops or the police are not allowing the marchers to go forward where they want to go. Yes, and Reform, which is a Mexican news outlet, says that that protesters are accusing police from blocking their march today.
ayudas tantísimo. Me ayudas a cargar. Ya me cansé, son varias horas.
Oigan, nos están informando que atrás de los
¡Silencio!
hay todavía un
¡Silencio!
grupo, o sea, que hay personas que quisieran pasar, se van a enfrentar a alguna situación, entonces quien quiera permanecer aquí de forma pacífica como lo estamos haciendo,
¡Tengo
hay
hambre!
alguna persona que llegara a
pacíficamente! ¡Tengo hambre!
Digamos completamente, esto es un movimiento pacífico. Que creo
Yo vengo de un rancho, 2 horas, 1 hora a caballo. Desde Tenango de
romper las manifestaciones pacíficas. Entonces, me acaban de avisar de que atrás de los granaderos hay otro grupo.
See, look at all the police on the right there.
Cuando estemos de forma pacífica, bueno, se los quiero compartir.
¡Ya estamos hartos del pinche gobierno! ¡Es hora de hacer justicia! ¡Sí! ¡Ya estuvo suave!
Graben al puerco que está grabando. O le quitamos su celular al cabrón.
¡Grábenlos!
So, again, there's a sign back there that says Fuera Morena Narco Gobi. I can't read it. It says Fuera Morena Narco Gobierno, one of the signs says, which means out to the current narco government.
Ese gordo, baja el teléfono, puerco.
See, Fuera Morena Narco
Está
Gobierno.
provocando el puerco. Está provocando el puerco.
Yes, so it's called a Gen Z protest. That happened on Saturday, but a lot of the protesters are not Gen Z.
Graben al puerco.
Apoyo los derechos de los jóvenes.
Support the rights of the young people, she said.
A un mejor servicio. A un
Better
mejor
services.
beneficio de vida. A tener educación, seguridad. No a que los agreda el crimen organizado, no desaparezca. Están matando a nuestros jóvenes y a nuestros niños. Queremos paz, queremos seguridad.
She says we want peace, we want security.
¡Arriba! 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 ¡Arriba la generación Z! ¡Arriba! ¡Viva la generación Z! ¡Y los jóvenes! Con el pueblo muy cabrón, con el narco maricón. Con el pueblo muy cabrón, con el narco maricón. Con el pueblo muy cabrón, con el narco maricón.
¡Viva México!
Uh-oh, we might have lost our camera. This might be a short stream. This might be a short stream if I don't have any other feeds. That was kind of sudden. Let me see. Let me reach out and see. I don't know. I was supposed to have multiple feeds, and all I can tell you is, oh, I got one. I got a feedback. I got a feed. Hold on. Give me one more. I got a feed from AFP. That was Reuters. All right, hold on. Give me a moment. We're going to have another feed up in about 15 seconds for you. I don't know what happened to the Reuters feed, but I got the AFP feed. So give me a moment. Just give me a moment. I got another feed for you. Hang on. AP was covering it, and that feed stopped. So I don't know what's going on. All right, hold on. I am getting it up on the screen for you right now. I need a second. Need 1 second. Feed is coming back. A different feed. Here it is. I can see it. I can see it right now. I have it on my screen. I'm going to get it on. I don't know how good the signal will be there at this point. Might be not the best signal. So we'll see how the signal is. This one might have signal issues. But for now, I'll put it on the screen and we'll see what happens. All right, hang on. Hang on. That's here. Right here. I'll try to find out about the other one. I don't know what happened to that other one. All right, here it is.
Vengo de Tenango de Doria Hidalgo.
Aquí está el pinche amor, soy una persona real, que ya está hasta la madre de ti. Déjame pasar.
Having some issues right now.
Cachetón con Claudia. Pinche gordo cachetón. Deja de hacer la mamada.
Tenango de Doria.
Aquí nos quedamos. No somos bots. 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 No somos bots.
So one of the signs says, "Justice for Carlos Manzo." Carlos Manzo was an anti-crime mayor who was shot, an anti-crime mayor in Mexico who was shot and killed on November 1st. So again, a number of the protesters think there is too much violence in the country. That's one thing they're protesting about. But somebody was holding up a sign saying, "For Carlos Manzo." Look at all the police. Look at this.
Pónganse así de rigurosos con los criminales. Ponte así con el pinche narco, no con tu pueblo, pendeja.
Fuera la lagartija.
¡Fuera la lagartija! 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 ¡Fuera la lagartija!
¡Fuera la lagartija!
Aunque nos graben y nos quieran intimidar, no nos importa. Ya estamos hasta la madre de delincuentes. Uno más, ya que chingados ya.
Transmita la represión, transmita la represión, transmita la represión, transmita la represión,
Transmita la represión, transmita la represión, transmita la represión, transmita la represión, transmita la represión, transmita la represión, transmita la represión, transmita la represión.
Y mató a muchas personas. Y ahora, gracias al mundial, Claudia Sheinbaum.
¡Arriba!
Y ojalá nos
¡Arriba los jóvenes!
¡Arriba!
¡Arriba las nuevas generaciones!
¡Arriba!
¡Futuro para los jóvenes!
¡Arriba!
Es como la CONASO.
¡Arriba!
¡Que no nos desaparezca el crimen organizado!
¡Arriba!
¡Que no nos criminalice el gobierno!
¡Arriba!
¡Educación para los jóvenes de calidad!
¡Arriba!
¡Arriba los jóvenes! Por eso
México, 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 México.
¡Arriba Manso!
¡Arriba!
¡Arriba Unrape!
¡Arriba!
¡Arriba Manso!
¡Arriba!
No has muerto, Manso. Tus ideales siguen y seguirán. Por ti porto el sombrero y de hoy en adelante lo voy a...
¡Movimiento del sombrero!
¡Primero la mandaste a matar, maldita!
¡Arriba el movimiento del sombrero! ¡Arriba el movimiento del sombrero!
¡Arriba! Él sí hubiera sido un buen presidente, no nunca nada.
Ah, muy indignado, pero no te indignas con tu patrón Adán Augusto, ¿verdad, cabrón? Ahí sí no le echas esos pinches ojotes. Esos ojotes échaselos a tu vieja, güey.
¡Libre terminó! ¡Libre paso a la expresión! ¡El desfile terminó! ¡Libre paso a la expresión! ¡El desfile terminó!
Han de creer que uno está aquí de gusto. ¡No mamen!
¡Libre paso a la expresión!
De gusto estaría en Miami con unas escorts. No aquí peleando con ustedes, cabrones. ¡Mamen!
Ya déjame pasar, tengo derecho a la libre expresión.
So again, that sign The couple of the signs say "Justice for Carlos Manzo." Carlos Manzo was the mayor of Uruapan, Mexico, who was shot, an anti-crime mayor who was shot and killed on November 1st.
Claudia no terminó el sexenio de jefa de gobierno. Yo dudo que vaya a terminar su presidencia. Ella no sabe terminar. No pudo terminar ni siquiera la jefatura de gobierno por incompetente y corrupta.
Terminó con la línea 12.
Terminar no es su sello. Terminar no es el sello de Claudia Sheinbaum. ¡Viva! ¡Viva!
El desfile terminó, libre paso a la expresión. 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 La soberanía de Sheinbaum.
¡El razonamiento Morena!
Reforma no es de la lagartija. 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 Reforma no es de la lagartija.
¿Por qué no lo hace? Porque sale de su partido, porque se ve beneficiado, porque se hace todo. Dicen que no quieren chance, no se lo pidieron. Porque en unos días ya se los robó este gobierno, ya no hay nada, no mandan ni más.
Look at all, see, there's all the law enforcement. The police are not letting them march. Huge police presence there, you can see right there. Wow.
Sí, porque definitivamente ellos vienen contra los militares, los marinos y los policías que nos han atacado. Ojalá que llegaran de Estados Unidos y a ver si con ellos se ponen a golpear sus comunidades.
¿No cree que se intencionara el gobierno de México para quitar a este narcogobierno?
Eso es lo que tendríamos que estar negociando.
Oye, güey, ¿quieres prensa libre? ¡Sáltala allá atrás! ¡Ya te di que nos andas grabando! ¡Te hablan, pinche cachetón! ¡Mira la
¡Te va a salir el casco, güey!
¡Te hablan, pinche gordo cachetón! ¡Una pinche porra para esos güeyes!
¡Viva su puta madre!
¡Ahora, pinche cachetón camarógrafo! ¡Deja de hacerle la mamada, puto! ¡Muy camarógrafo, pinche Steven Spielberg! ¡Así empezó la de 15, güey! ¡Pinches empezaron!
¡No te va a salir ese casco!
Look at this.
¡Pinche gordo cachetón! ¡Deja de hacerte el Steven Spielberg! ¿Eh? ¿Quieres prensa libre? ¡Cabrón! ¡No seas un pinche cumpleaños! Ya una pantallada, ¿no ves?
México es hermoso y la gente...
¡No me a vengar! ¡Parque Gordásico!
Mejor estudien, ellos quieren que estemos peleados, juntos quieren echarnos contra otros.
So just a little more background. Thanks to Sir Pepe, by the way. I appreciated Sir Pepe. So just a little background. This is from a Reuters article on the mayor, Carlos Manzo. Mayor of Uruapan in Michoacan. He was shot during Day of the Dead celebrations on November 1st. That mayor had been an outspoken critic of the federal government for not doing more to confront organized crime. That mayor, Reuters called it a shocking assassination. The mayor had been giving a speech and carrying around his young son just moments before the shooting. And that shooting sparked outrage in Mexico, pressuring the Sheinbaum government to act on a worsening security crisis, says Reuters. Citrus and avocado producers in Michoacan, Mexico, the state of Michoacan, have for years denounced extortion, kidnappings, and killings linked to cartel violence. And on Saturday, there were You can see a big law enforcement presence now. On Saturday, there were protests across Mexico under the banner of Generation Z, denouncing rising violence after the public killing of an anti-crime mayor. And this is another one today that seems to be, there's a bunch of protesters protesting against violence, a sign against calling the government a narco government. But they don't, the law enforcement does not appear to be letting them march right now. Now, one of our viewers mentioned, I believe there might have been some sort of event going on at the Zocalo earlier. This march is supposed to go to the Zocalo. So,
en el ámbito.
Just so you know, there's also going on today, and I think it might. I don't know if it's ended by now, but there's been a Mexico City has been holding a big 115th anniversary parade of the Mexican Revolution, which the president has been attending, and I think she did an address during the parade. But I know the Reuters coverage of that event was over, so I don't know if that event is over right now.
Es por eso que nosotros somos diferentes, que el día de hoy nos encontramos aquí. Sí, pero somos diferentes y el otro día a mí me pegaron sin que yo trajera ningún arma. Es cierto, y es por eso que estoy aquí, por esas personas que fueron atacadas.
Okay, the sign there says SOS USA. President Sheinbaum's sovereignty is just a pretext to leave narco politicians unpunished and to protect cartels. Kill the narco state, I believe it says. Or die narco state.
Claudia.
Pero dijeron que ellos seguían órdenes y por eso se pusieron a golpear a todos. Eso es injusto.
Es injusto.
Nos echan la culpa a nosotros, no.
Vinimos en son de paz.
Ya nos conviene estar como el bloque
Right
negro,
next to the
para que
police.
no nos hagan nada, la neta. Ya mejor eso, porque no.
Hey, thanks so much to Crazy Yoda. Crazy Yoda, I really appreciate it. Crazy Yoda, thanks for your support. As we look at the big law enforcement presence, I'm guessing trying to prevent what happened on Saturday when in Mexico City protesters started marching and they marched to the central Zocalo Square and there was a bunch of violence. So it appears that they're not letting them march right now.
No solo queremos que todos estén bien, que todos estén satisfechos, que todos tengan una vida integral. ¿Qué significa? Salud digna, educación digna, una vivienda digna. Muchas zonas están sin agua, muchos hospitales están sin medicamento. Solo vinimos a exigir eso. No vinimos a dañar a nadie.
Thanks to our viewer from Dario. Now, our viewer Dario, this is what our viewer Dario says. Dario says, last Saturday, local and federal government repressed no more violence demonstration. Police were extremely violent, says Dario. Dario believes the government there is brutal against people, but I think not with drug lords, its allies, narco state. That's what Dario, our viewer, said. Anyways, thank you, Dario, for your support. A different opinion from our viewer CCC201112, who thinks that the Carlos Manzo assassination was just an excuse, he or she says, for the right wing to start this violent hate campaign against the president, sponsored by the foreign government, thinks CCC. Again, the Scheinbaum government said that the Scheinbaum government, says Reuters, has questioned the motives behind Saturday's marches, saying they were organized in large part by right-leaning political opponents and promoted by bots on social media. Oh, I disappeared, sorry. I didn't realize I had disappeared from the camera.
Son esqueletos que ocupan todos los bikers. No, la fue culpa de la policía, porque tuve compañeros que asistieron y nosotros que sin culpa tenemos de que empiecen a lanzar el gas lacrimógeno. Lo que a mí me enojó fue de que empezaron a lavar.
Thanks to our viewer Zach. Zach believes these protests are clearly against a government that are in bed with the cartels. Our viewer kids coach says it's good to see that Mexicans are standing up against what kid coach calls the drug state. Look at the police with their shields up now. Will the police at some point try to clear the people out of there? I don't know.
También trafican órganos. Mejor vayan a investigar quién mató a Manso, ¿no? Ya saben quiénes son, pero no los quieren detener. Entonces vayan a detener los políticos, ¿saben?
Ahí les da miedo el gobierno que los despida. Aquí estamos, nosotros les damos trabajo.
No seas cobarde, Claudia Sheinbaum.
No nos dejen
Mira,
solos.
¿no que no tienes miedo?
Somebody just said, I'm not afraid. I am not afraid, somebody
Para que
said.
te cubran.
Ya no existen.
Eres una maldita cobarde.
Cobarde y asesina.
Presidenta
con es mexicana.
Presidenta
con
A de asesina. Presidenta con A de asesina. Presidenta con A de asesina. Presidenta con A de asesina. Presidenta con A de asesina. Presidenta con A de asesina. Presidenta con A de asesina. Presidenta con A de asesina. Presidenta con A de asesina. Presidenta con A de asesina. Ándale, granaderos.
Háganos valer, háganos valer. Háganos valer, háganos valer. Háganos valer, háganos valer. Háganos valer, háganos valer. Háganos valer, háganos
Ay, mire qué guapos se ven. Ayúdenos a pasar.
Chulada.
Cámara, güey, que ya tengo hambre. Me vas a dejar pasar.
Les va a dar un golpe de calor.
Vete de nuestro país, Claudia. Vete de nuestro país. Te odiamos. Te repudiamos.
O mejor
She
vete
says,
de nuestro país. Haz las cosas
We hate-
bien.
We hate you, Scheinbaum. We reject you,
Vete de
President
nuestro país.
Scheinbaum.
Ya no te queremos, no te queremos de por sí. Vete de nuestro país. Por tu culpa nuestro país está en picada. Lárgate de aquí. Tú
Solo
como
queremos una vida digna.
Narcojudía. Viajando en aviones privados con los militares, mientras aquí el pueblo muriéndose de hambre. No hay medicamentos, no hay medicamentos.
Sin agua en los estados, sin agua en las delegaciones.
Ni dignidad tienes porque hasta te han escupido la jeta en tu cara. Nosotros ya te hubiéramos hecho a picadillo, te lo juro.
Ganadero,
qué bueno que te escupieron la cara, por maldita ratera.
Narcojudía. Esta es tu lucha.
Ganadero,
escucha.
Eso es lo que eres, una arrimada en nuestro país.
No somos enemigos, somos el pueblo. No somos enemigos, somos el pueblo.
No tienes miedo,
somos enemigos, somos el pueblo. No somos
la única enemiga de México es Sheinbaum.
Somos el
esa.
Ella es la verdadera enemiga de México.
Somos mexicanos.
No tiene sangre azteca.
Es la zorra de los narcos. Eres la zorra de los narcos.
¿Qué nos pasa?
Nombramos a Claudia non grata en México, así como Perú la nombró. Claudia non grata. No quiere intervención de otros países, pero ella sí está de metiche en otros. ¿Por qué le da nuestro petróleo?
Oh, what's happening now? They're putting the shields up.
¿Por qué le estás dando todo?
They're putting the shields up.
Porque nos sobra, ¿dónde está?
¿Listos para avanzar?
They're saying ready to advance. Listo para avanzar. Avanzar. Ready to advance. One of the protesters said that.
Que la tiembla en su centro la tierra, al sonoro rugir del cañón. Y retiembla en su centro la tierra, al sonoro rugir del cañón. Niño patria, tus sienes de oliva, de la paz el arcángel divino, que del cielo tu eterno destino.
Hey, thanks so much to From Mexico, our viewer from Mexico. Thank you too. I want to get the name right here. Hold on. It's Dramartha Castro. Can't even see the whole name. It's a long screen name. Thank you to our viewer from Mexico. And also Sydney from Mexico. Sydney from Mexico says government and cartels are one and the same. Sheinbaum is a narco president. Dramartha Castro, and I can't see the rest of the name at the moment, says believes that these protesters are paid for by PRA and PAN and a foreign government. President Sheinbaum has a 78% approval and support. These people protesting today are very violent and very few, says our viewer from Mexico, Dramartha Castro. Thanks for your support. We have some very different opinions in our chat today. Cankin says this might escalate, our viewer.
Murió, se multiplicó. Manso no murió, se multiplicó. Manso no murió, se multiplicó. Manso no murió, se multiplicó.
Somos uno, no somos 10, somos un chingo. Venga, ya tenemos que pasar.
Leonardo, aplausos también.
¡Viva! ¡Viva!
¡Viva México,
ellos sí querían diálogo y no los dejaron.
Por eso nos mataron.
Queremos abrazos.
¡Queremos abrazos! 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 ¡Queremos abrazos!
I believe that's we want hugs. Queremos abrazos.
Somos del mismo equipo.
Ese trabajo para desgraciadamente
hágalo por su pueblo, hágalo por su nación. Es la gata del obrador. Les faltan huevos, 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 les faltan huevos.
¡Arriba las nuevas generaciones! ¡Todos somos mexicanos!
Again, on Saturday, there were protests, a number of protests across Mexico, and in Mexico City, it got violent on Saturday. President Sheinbaum said that protests had been funded by right-wing politicians and also had been promoted online by bots. I will say that, hold on a second here.
Que son
muchos jóvenes
que no tienen trabajo y más
hay muchos jóvenes en las calles
dictaduras. La gasolina se la están regalando y el petróleo a Cuba, los medicamentos, estamos imprimiendo sus libros. Entonces,
eso es traición a la patria, es traición a la patria.
Eso es traición a la patria.
En el tiempo de la revolución ya lo hubieras fusilado.
¡Únanse a nosotros! 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 ¡Únanse a nosotros!
Oye, esto no es inteligencia artificial, estoy aquí parado como todo.
Soy un bot moderno.
No somos políticos.
No sé ni usar las redes.
Now,
Exigiendo.
a number of recent articles say the Sheinbaum government is largely popular in Mexico. El Universal, the newspaper there, reported back in August that she had a 70% approval rating. That was in August in El Universal.
No fuéramos políticos, no fuéramos morenos.
Que no desayunen.
¡Arriba los jóvenes!
¡Arriba, arriba!
¡Apoyo a los jóvenes!
¡Arriba!
¡Seguridad para los jóvenes! Oportunidades de trabajo y desarrollo para los jóvenes. No queremos limosnas.
¿No me vas a dejar pasar o qué pedo?
Ya te pregunto.
¡Pasar, flaco!
Ya se informaron, como quedamos.
¡Cállense! ¡Claudia! ¡El pueblo te saluda!
Silencio, por favor.
¡Ese viejo no me importa, es del gobierno!
Entonces,
¡Claudia! ¡El pueblo te saluda!
ahora, pedimos por favor, igual, ahorita somos muy pacíficos. Ya sabemos que así es, que así va a seguir.
¡No tenemos por qué hacerte caso! ¡No tenemos por qué hacerte caso!
¡Es de Morena! 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 ¡Es de Morena!
Sorry, I think I was muted before. One of our viewers, Sydney, claimed that Sydney thinks that she is at lower, Scheinbaum is at lower approval than the 70% approval poll in Mexico. But I don't know. I'll see if I can get any recent polling from Mexico. Again, El Universal reported in August that her approval rating was 70%. Again, from the reporting I've seen today, the police are not letting them march forward. They want to march, and police seem to be blocking them from marching today. A number of people have commented on this. So, like the protests on Saturday, this is labeled as a Gen Z protest, which is younger people, but a bunch of the people there are not, younger. So, but it is being called a Gen Z protest. I think he just said llegar a Zócalo. Are they we want to advance. We want to go forward. So maybe they're going to let them march now. I don't know. I don't know that.
Soy un boss que tiene voz, pero ya no me quieren ni dar el derecho a mi pueblo.
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. 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 El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
¡Arriba Manso! ¡Arriba Manso! ¡Arriba Manso!
¡Arriba Manso! ¡Que aumente los
¡Arriba Europa!
¡Que aumente los ojos la lagartija! ¡Una porra para Claudia! ¡Que sigue ¡La culebra la verga, pinche policía de mierda!
Oye, gordito, ya te vi cómo andas grabando, güey. Prensa libre, pásate para acá.
So a bunch of people there are protesting what they feel is too much violence in Mexico. Some viewers, a number of the protesters are protesting the amount of violence in Mexico. Some feel that the government is tied in with cartels. There was a mayor, an anti-crime mayor in Mexico was killed, shot and killed on November 1st, and a number of people are protesting related to that.
Oigan, me están comentando que aquí adelante hay gente también, así como encapuchada. No hay que caer en una provocación y llegamos al Zócalo para demostrarle que podemos hacer. Esta es una manifestación pacífica. Por favor, no caigan en provocaciones.
Eso dicen los putos policías.
Again, it sounds like maybe they're going to let them march to the Zócalo, maybe, which is the central square. So maybe they're going to let them march. That's where the march is supposed to go. But I don't see them letting them march yet. I mean, there's all the police are still there.
Que nuestro presidente no nos diga nuestra verdad. ¿Por qué no se mencionan las mañaneras luego las 400 voces encontradas en Jalisco con restos que ni siquiera pudo contra el gobierno ni las autoridades, sino lo que van a encontrar las malas buscadoras, con el dolor del corazón de poder perder a un hijo, a un hermano, a un familiar, ya basta de seguridad, como mujeres sindicalizadas, de caminar día con día por la calle, y de no tener resultado de nada, de tener hermano, de no llegar a la casa, por eso lucho por mis derechos, lucho por ley.
¡Granadero, escucha! ¡Esta es tu lucha! ¡Granadero, escucha! ¡Esta es tu lucha! ¡Granadero!
Our viewer Vanship, thank you Vanship. Vanship thinks that the right-wing politicians are paying professionals to riot and to destroy the property and feed the aggression against the police. Shinebomb is doing a great job. That's from our viewer Vanship27. Thanks for your support.
Tanto como de las demás autoridades, porque ellos también son pueblos. Y bien sabemos, no se está ocupando o violencia. Los que empezaron a atacar fueron los oficiales con la seguridad que se supone que son para proteger al pueblo. ¡Fuera la lagartija!
¡Fuera la lagartija! ¡Somos enemigos! ¡Somos el pueblo! ¡No somos enemigos! ¡Somos el pueblo! ¡No somos enemigos! ¡Somos el pueblo! ¡Somos enemigos! ¡Somos el pueblo! ¡Somos enemigos! ¡Somos el pueblo! ¡No somos enemigos! ¡Somos el pueblo! ¡No somos enemigos! ¡Somos el pueblo! ¡No somos enemigos! ¡Somos el pueblo! ¡Somos el pueblo! ¡No somos enemigos! ¡Somos el pueblo! ¡No
She
somos
says,
enemigos!
we are the people, we're not enemies, I believe, or we are the country, we're not enemies.
¡No somos enemigos! ¡Somos el pueblo! ¡No somos enemigos! ¡Somos el pueblo! ¡No somos enemigos!
We are the people, not the enemy, not enemies.
¡No somos enemigos! ¡Somos el pueblo! Mexicano, escucha, esta es tu lucha. 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 Mexicano,
Now they're saying, Mexicans, listen, this is your struggle. Mexicans, listen, this is your struggle. Hey, thanks to Tim Glenn. Thank you, Tim Glenn, for your support. Tim Glenn, our viewer Tim Glenn thinks since former President Fox declared war on the cartels, rulers, it led to many dead. Since then, rulers make peace with the devil. That's what our viewer Tim Glenn said. Thanks also Dario from Mexico for your support. Dario thinks the violence comes from decades. Last administration wanted to solve it with hugs, no bullets, and this administration wants to hide violence numbers. That's what Dario thinks. Our viewer Boricua says, good for Mexico. It's about time they fight and try to do something about the cartel's owned government.
Únanse a nosotros, únanse a nosotros, únanse a nosotros, únanse a nosotros, únanse a nosotros.
¡Ya muévanse! muévanse puercos! ¡Ya muévanse puercos! ¡Ya muévanse puercos! ¡Muévanse puercos!
Así no, amigo.
¿Qué culpa tienen los cerditos?
Sí, ya cubrieron la represión de los...
Okay, so, hey guys, I have an update here. I have an update. As I mentioned, from what I was hearing, it sounded like maybe they're going to be allowed to march. So Diario 24 Horas in Mexico is reporting that the protest is going to be allowed to march. I guess soon. I don't know exactly when. But that appears that the police are going to allow them to march shortly.
Queremos seguridad, no la represión. Queremos seguridad, no la represión. Queremos seguridad, no la represión. También seguridad, no la represión.
Our viewer Stang thinks that that's not going to happen. Yes, as Colt CA Bunny says, I believe the intended destination of the march is the Zocalo, the main public square. I do not know if they're going to be allowed to march to the Zocalo today. Hey, thanks Lexa Fulmer for being a member. Also, thank you to... hold on.
Oigan, vamos a avanzar, por favor, no entren en provocación con los granaderos.
Hold on. They're playing music. Oh, I gotta turn it down because they're playing music. There we go. Hold on. I'm gonna turn it down for a sec. Somebody's blasting music. Right where the microphone is, and I don't want to play the music, and then we can't hear anything. So let me give it a second and see if somebody stops blasting the music. Uh-oh. I hope we get the stream back. We might. If we don't get the stream back, we have an issue. This was our stream. The two other streams ended. So I'm going to give it a second. We'll see. Let's see if we get the stream back. We're waiting. It's still going, but this might be the last stream we have. So it is what it is. I wanted to do some coverage of this, but let me give it a second and see. It doesn't say anything yet. There were two other streams before, and they both went down. So this is the last of the three I had. Things have not developed to the point yet where they developed on Saturday. It got pretty intense on Saturday. There was a bunch of violence near the National Palace. There's some crazy video. I know the screen is black right now, but I'm just seeing if they're going to come back with the stream. We'll see. Maybe it's possible that maybe if they're getting underway to march, that the camera is adjusting for that to start walking. But see, it says stand by. Stand by. Well, stand by is better than ending. So we're waiting to get the AFP stream back. So it says stand by. So hopefully we're okay. Thanks, I am Charlie, for your support. Thanks to all of our moderators who are here right now. I really appreciate it. We have moderating right now Janet B. Thank you, Janet, for moderating on YouTube. Also, our Twitch moderators, like 13 Alamo, I Got That Fire, Matthew Kohai 3, McBridges, Facebook, Margaret Riley. Hey, thanks, Margaret, for the Facebook stars, too. I really appreciate that, Margaret. Thank you. And thanks for moderating. And Kayla Ribati, thanks for moderating. Thanks, Susan Priest-Buchner, for your support as well. Thanks, Susan. Thanks for the stars. And also Linda Belk, Larry, and Misha moderating on X. So again, we're waiting to get the feedback. Wanted to come on today and give you some coverage of this. Sorry we weren't able to get on the air on Saturday when the protests were happening. But we'll see, if we get the feedback, we'll see what we're supposed to get the feedback, and we'll see how this develops. We'll have to just see. On Saturday, it started out as a march. And then when it got to the Zocalo, things got more violent. So look, there's differing opinions about the protests. The ones on Saturday, again, the government accuses right-wing. Let me just give you the summary here. Reuters says that Sheinbaum's government has questioned the motives behind Saturday's marches, saying they were organized in large part by right-leaning political opponents and promoted by bots on social media. That's according to the Sheinbaum government. And again, there's debates about that. But a number of the protesters have been protesting against violence in the country, have been protesting against what they say are too close ties between the government and, I guess, the cartels. Because, for example, there was a sign that called the government a narco government. There was a mayor who was shot and killed on November 1st, an anti-crime mayor. And that got a lot of people upset in Mexico. And that was in Uruapan in Mexico. So, I think I have a video I can show you of some of what happened on Saturday in Mexico. Maybe while we're waiting to get the feedback, I'm going to show you some video of what happened on Saturday. That's what I'm going to do, because we're waiting to get the feedback. But it says stand by, so we should get it back. But if you give me a second, I will pull up here some of the video from Saturday of what happened on Saturday. Give me a moment. I'm pulling it up for you right now. Thanks for your patience. Here, I have it on the screen in front of me. Okay. Oops. All right, so what you can see here, as we wait for the feed to come back, which it's hopefully going to, you can see Reuters reported Gen Z-styled protests. Oh, hold on. The video's back. Is the video coming back? I'm hearing the video. Hey, the video is back. Hold on, the video is back. We're back. We're back live. We are back live. Look at this. They're letting the police are letting them march. They're letting them march right now. Look, the police are leaving the road. The police are leaving the road.
Fuera Morena, fuera Morena, fuera Morena, fuera Morena.
They're saying Fuera Morena. They want the Morena. The Morena is the governing party. Fuera Morena, government out. Narco Morena, Narco Morena. Morena again is the ruling party. So they're calling them Narco Morena.
Fuera Morena, fuera No es un desorden, es un derecho. No es un desorden, es un derecho. No es un desorden, es un derecho. Es un derecho.
¡Arriba los campesinos! ¡Arriba los campesinos!
¡Revocación a las chichis de limón! 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 Viva Morena, la misma chingadera. Viva Morena, la misma chingadera. Viva Morena, la misma chingadera.
Our viewer Chem APF thinks that most protesters don't come from any wing. They are people not happy with incompetence from the government. Is this Reforma Avenue? Do I have that right from my memory?
Liberen a los presos, son estudiantes. 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 Liberen a los presos, son estudiantes.
¡Liberen a los presos! ¡Son estudiantes!
¡Marco no murió! ¡Morena no! ¡Con el pueblo muy cabrón! ¡Con el narco maricón! ¡Con el pueblo muy cabrón! ¡Con el narco maricón! ¡Con el pueblo muy cabrón! ¡Con el narco maricón! ¡Con el pueblo muy cabrón! ¡Con el narco maricón! ¡Con el pueblo muy cabrón! ¡Con el narco maricón! ¡Con el pueblo muy cabrón! ¡Con el narco maricón! ¡Con el pueblo muy cabrón! ¡Con el narco maricón! Manso no murió, el gobierno lo mató. 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 Claudia protege a puro delincuente. 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 Claudia protege Carlos Manso. Claudia protege a puro delincuente.
They're saying Claudia, the president, protects something criminal.
Claudia, escucha, el pueblo te repudia. 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 Claudia, escucha.
So they're saying now, Claudia, listen, the people condemns you. The people reject you.
No brutalidad, exijo seguridad. No brutalidad, exijo seguridad. No brutalidad, exijo seguridad. No brutalidad, exijo seguridad. No brutalidad, Exijo seguridad, no brutalidad. Exijo seguridad, no brutalidad.
Exijo seguridad,
No brutalidad.
exijo seguridad,
No brutalidad.
I think they're saying now, I demand security, not brutality.
Medicinas, 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 medicinas.
Sounds like they're saying medicine. Medicines.
Medicinas.
Sounds like.
¡No más cárteles!
¡No más!
¡No más cárteles!
¡No más cárteles!
¡No más cárteles!
No more cartels. No more cartels.
¡No más cárteles! 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 ¡No más cárteles!
No más cárteles. No más cárteles. No más cárteles. El gobierno lo mató.
Claudia, ¿dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Chingas a tu madre, chingas a tu madre, ¿dónde estés? ¿Dónde estés? Claudia, ¿dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Chingas a tu madre, chingas a tu madre, ¿dónde estés? ¿Dónde estés? Claudia, ¿dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Chingas a tu madre, chingas a tu madre, ¿dónde estés? ¿Dónde estés? Claudia, ¿dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Chingas a tu madre, chingas a tu madre.
This is, sorry for the language. This is, I'm not going to translate this. I will not be translating that into English.
No somos bots, no somos enemigos, somos el pueblo, no somos enemigos.
I think they were just saying, no, we're not bots. No Somos boats, right? Were they saying we're not bots? Because President Sheinbaum had claimed that the protests on Saturday were being organized online by bots. So I think they were saying we're not bots. Now they're saying we are the people, we're not enemies.
¡Viva Morena! ¡La misma chingadera! 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 ¡Viva Morena! ¡La misma chingadera!
But one of our viewers thought it was no somos vos, we are not you. So maybe it was we are not you. I thought it was maybe no somos boats. We're not bots. So I don't know. And again, Fuera Morena is the ruling party. Morena is the dominant party, the ruling party in Mexico. So when they say Fuera Moreno, they want Morena out, the government out.
Esta es tu lucha, pueblo, escucha. Esta es tu lucha, México.
And then, as I said before, they're saying, Mexico, listen, this is your struggle.
Esta es tu lucha. México, escucha. Esta es tu lucha. México, escucha. Esta es tu lucha. Exijo seguridad, no brutalidad. Seguridad, no brutalidad.
I remember, so what happened on Saturday in Mexico City, there was a march, and then the protest march got to the Zocalo, which is the main public square there, and then things got a little violent. Now, I hope it doesn't get violent today, but I believe they want to go to the Zocalo. Hopefully things just stay under control today and don't get violent like they were on Saturday. And now they're saying the people united will never be defeated. And that says Narco Morena Fuera. Narco Morena Fuera, where they're saying the Morena party, the ruling party, is a narco party, I guess tied in with our cartels, and they're saying out, out, drug government out.
Somos el pueblo, no somos enemigos. Somos el pueblo, no somos.
Hold on. So hopefully they get the stream back. We've had the stream cut out before, so we'll see what happens here. We'll see if it says stand by. Sometimes the stream cuts out, so we'll wait and see. But you can see they have been allowed to march. Seems like a decent-sized crowd too. But I have to wait and see if we get the AFP stream back. I was hoping we would get, AP and Reuters were covering it before, but their streams went out. But let's just wait and see. I know it's black on the screen right now, but I'm leaving it up there because, oops, you can't see me anymore. There you go. I know it's black on the screen right now, but this happened about 15 minutes ago. Went out for a couple minutes and then it came back. So I'll let you know. I don't think they tried to have the stream go out. But we're going to keep an eye on this for as long as we can today. I'm sorry if it ends up to be that we can't, but we will keep an eye out. And as long as I have footage to show you, we'll keep an eye on this. And you know what? While I have a second here, what I'm going to do is, while we're waiting to get the stream back, doesn't say it's over yet, let me show you what happened on Saturday. I have some video to show you from Saturday of the violence there and a little summary of what's going on.
Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum condemned the violence that broke out at a protest.
I know that you're hearing double audio right now, so let me fix that for you. Hold on, I just got to do this real quick. See, the audio is better, and there we go. Okay, so check this out. I'm going to put on the screen right now while we hopefully are waiting for the stream to come back, the live stream. You can see here, Gen Z-styled protests spread in Mexico, fueled by mayor's murder. That was an article from Reuters on Sunday, and here is a video about what happened last weekend with the protests. So let me show you this. Again, this is from Reuters, and hopefully we get the footage back shortly from Mexico City, the live footage.
Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum condemned the violence that broke out at a protest march in Mexico City on Saturday, telling a crowd there was, quote, never a need to use violence for change. Thousands protested across Mexico on Saturday under the banner of Generation Z, denouncing rising violence after the public killing of an anti-crime mayor earlier this month. In Mexico City, a group of protesters tore down fences around the National Palace where Sheinbaum lives. prompting a clash with riot police who deployed tear gas, according to Reuters witnesses. Mexico City's Public Safety Secretary Pablo Vasquez said 100 police officers were injured, including 40 who required hospital treatment. Another 20 civilians were injured, Vasquez told a local media outlet. The Public Safety Secretary also said 20 people were arrested and another 20, quote, referred for administrative offenses. Other marches took place in various cities across Mexico, including in the western state of Michoacán, where anger has flared over the murder on November 1st of Uruapan Mayor Carlos Manzo, who was shot dead at a public Day of the Dead event. A group calling itself Generation Z Mexico that called for the protest has said in a manifesto circulating on social media that it is nonpartisan and represents Mexican youth that are fed up with violence, corruption, and abuse of power. Sheinbaum's government has questioned the motives behind the marches, saying they were organized in large part by right-leaning political opponents and promoted by bots on social media. Mexico's President
Okay, so there's a little summary of what's going on there. And by the way, AFP says their feed is coming back. So if you look here, hold on, it says stand by. So we're waiting to get the live feed back from the protest today. But it does say stand by, so that would suggest we're going to get the feedback. Give me a moment here. Let me just check if I don't have any other feeds at the moment. But if I do, I'll put them up. But this one we're supposed to get back. So as soon as we do, I'll get it on the screen for you. I appreciate you guys joining the stream.
En el ámbito militar,
I have some
las mujeres que
audio
integran
playing,
esta
which should
agrupación
not be playing right now. But when it says stand by, that means they are bringing it back. So hopefully there's not violence today like there was on Saturday. Yes, for those who didn't know, President Trump signed last night after our stream, President Trump signed last night the Epstein Files release bill, which I posted about on my X account, @Lookner. So again, I apologize for the delay, but we're just waiting for the live feed to come back. Secret formula, our viewer says, change doesn't happen by handing out flowers. One of our viewers Whitney thinks they have to catch up to the march because they were standing. Well, they seem to be walking along with the march. But again, don't know what the delay is. But as soon as I have the stream back, I'll put it up. And again, we only have one stream available right now, but one is better than none. Derailed Freight Train says they ain't the youth. Well, they're called the Gen Z protests, but a lot of the people there have not been young people. They've been kind of a mix of ages. So thanks for your patience. We just have to wait till the feed comes back. That's the best I can tell you. And again, it's supposed to come back. So I'm hoping any moment now it will.
Your patience.
Oops, I can hear myself. I don't want that to happen. I'll do a quick check here, some other Mexican outlets I'm following to see if anything else is being reported while we're waiting for the stream to come back. But for a while, the police, a lot of police were on the street preventing them from marching, and just about maybe 25 minutes ago, they started to be allowed to march. I hear it. I think we're getting it back. I hear sound. I hear sound. That's a positive sign that I hear sound. I'm definitely hearing something. Uh-oh. Is that the wrong? Is this correct? Let's see. I am hearing sound. No video yet, though. Could be a positive sign. I'm hearing some, maybe the battery needed to be changed or something. Sound is better than no sound. Hearing a recorder playing or something. Let's hope we get the video. Oh, I might have another shot of it. I think I might have access to another feed. I think I will. Maybe. Hang on one sec. Possible second feed I have here. Just give me a second here. Thanks for your patience. Sounds like the camera person is getting ready there. All right, I'm going to go to the other feed. Brendan Gutenschwager is there live. BG on the scene. So I'm going to go to his feed. I'm going to pay him for his feed. Let me put Brendan's feed on, and I'll keep an eye on this feed. So we're going to switch feeds right now. Give me a moment here. Ready? All right, there's Brendan's feed. And I'll put a credit up for it.
misma chingadera. Viva Morena, la 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 misma chingadera.
Oh, I got the other one back, and I got the other one back too. So let me go back to the other one. Let me go back. I see that, actually, no, we'll stay on this one. We'll stay on this one. So this is from BG on the Scene on YouTube, Brendan Butenschlager, and you can see the police on either side of the protesters. Our viewer Minio Gaetan says they are almost there in the Zocalo. Our viewer Minio says they're almost there in the Zocalo. Some of our viewers are saying in the chat that there are some U.S. planes on the way to Venezuela. I don't know if that's true, but it has been a regular occurrence for weeks now that the U.S. has flown bombers near Venezuela. This has been a regular occurrence that the U.S. military has done. So if there happen to be, for example, U.S. bombers flying towards Venezuela, that is not a sign in and of itself that military action is imminent, because that has happened numerous times in recent weeks. Our viewer Jay Homeror says they're 2 blocks away from the main square. Hey, thanks to C. Serwin. Thank you, C. Serwin, for your support. I really appreciate it, C. Serwin. Also, Alan J.K. Mackey. Alan says, for the people who keep saying this was paid for by the right, looks like they paid a majority of the population that agree with Trump of, huh? That's what Alan said. Thanks, I Am Charlie, for your support. Thank you to Chem APF for your support. Our viewer Chem APF thinks the government is not popular and that it's making up its popularity rate. That's what Chem says from Mexico. Some of our viewers say the government is popular.
No somos enemigos, somos el pueblo. 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 ¡Más fuerte, cabrones! ¡Viva México! ¡Viva México! ¡Pero viva México libre! ¡Viva Morena, la misma chingadera! ¡Viva Morena, la misma chingadera! ¡Viva Morena, la misma chingadera! ¡No revocación! ¡Sí destitución! ¡No revocación! ¡Sí destitución! ¡No revocación! ¡Sí destitución!
So they are heading, I believe, to the Zocalo. Again, I believe they're heading to the Zocalo, which is the main public square in Mexico City, and near where the federal government offices are. And on Saturday, there was a march that went to the Zocalo, and then it got violent at the Zocalo. So we'll hope it doesn't get violent today, but that is, I believe, where they are heading. Our viewer PK thinks that Shine Bomb has a 70 to 75% approval rating. That's what our viewer PK says. PK thinks this protest is manufactured. Look at all the police there. Now, are they stopped? What's going on now? They're not marching. So I don't know if it's stopped or what.
Esta es tu lucha. No tenemos una buena educación, no tenemos economía, no tenemos una salud, ¿verdad? No tenemos seguridad. Ese es el gran problema que hay en México. Hay un gran descontento, muchos desaparecidos en este gobierno en 8 meses.
All right. Little issue with this stream. There's supposed to be another stream coming up. This is a BG on the scene stream. Well, the AFP stream, I'm still waiting to get back. That's still on standby. Reuters said they're going to have a stream, but that's not up yet. So I'm doing my best to keep a live video on the stream, but there can be issues people have with live video there. So hopefully Brendan, he is at BG on the scene on YouTube. His name is Brendan Gutenschwager. I'll put his X link up too, at BG on the scene. So he does a lot of great, Brendan does a lot of great live coverage, and I am, I'll pay, oh here, Brendan's stream is coming back, but I'm paying him for the stream. I'm paying Brendan for the
Paliacate la bandera, jóvenes. Paliacate la bandera, paliacate la bandera. Hay agua fría, hay refrescos, hay Gatorade, hay suero.
Oh, I got the other feed is back too. I have 2 feeds now. We have Brendan's and then we have the other one. Look, we got both of them. This is the second one. So we got AFP and Brendan's stream.
México, cabrones! ¡Viva! ¡Viva! La misma chingadera, viva Morena, 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 la misma chingadera. Carlos Manso no murió, se multiplicó. Carlos Manso no murió, se multiplicó. Carlos Manso no murió, justicia, justicia, justicia.
Justice, justicia.
Justicia, 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 justicia. Más medicamentos, 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 más medicamentos. Exijo seguridad, no brutalidad. Exijo seguridad, no brutalidad. Exijo seguridad, no brutalidad. Exijo seguridad, no brutalidad. Exijo no brutalidad. No brutalidad. No brutalidad.
Aguas con la bolsa, no sueltes, porque aquí donde se pone de vaca. ¿Qué te estás viendo?
Tú que estás mirando, también te están chingando. Tú que estás mirando, también te están chingando. Tú que estás mirando, también te están chingando. Tú que estás mirando, también te están chingando.
Déjenlo pasar.
Granadino, tú también eres pueblo. Granadero, escucha, esta es tu lucha. Granadero, escucha, esta es tu lucha.
Granadero, escucha, esta es tu lucha.
Granadero, escucha, esta es tu lucha. Granadero, escucha, esta es tu lucha. Granadero, escucha, esta es tu lucha. Claudia, ¿dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Chingas a tu madre, chingas a tu madre. ¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Claudia, ¿dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Chingas a tu
They're
madre.
saying, Claudia Sheinbaum, where are you? And then calling her a nasty name. President Sheinbaum.
¿Dónde estás?
Chingas a tu madre, chingas a tu madre. ¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás?
Oye, Claudia, ¿dónde estás?
¿Dónde estás? Chingas a tu madre, chingas a tu madre. ¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Morena, ¿dónde estás?
¿Dónde estás?
Chingas a tu madre, chingas a tu madre. ¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Noroña, ¿dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Chingas a tu madre, chingas
Marina del Pilar. Marina del Pilar.
Adán Augusto. Todos chingan a su madre.
¿Dónde estás? Chingas a tu madre, chingas a tu madre. ¿Dónde estés? ¿Dónde estés?
Marina del Pilar. Baja California, la peor cagada que pudo ver.
Dale, ¿dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás?
¡Viva México! ¡Viva México libre! ¡Viva México libre!
¡Libre de narcopolíticos! ¡Libre de narcopolíticos!
¡Libre de narcopolíticos!
¡Libre!
¡Libre de Morena!
¡Libre!
¡Libre de Claudia, narcopresidenta!
¡Libre!
They want to be, they're saying they want to be free of narco politicians and free of what they say is the narco president, Claudia Sheinbaum.
¡Libre tránsito!
Eso, cabrón. Fuerza México.
¡Viva Carlos Manso! ¡Viva la libertad!
¡Libertad! 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 ¡Libertad!
Some of them are shouting about Carlos Manzo, who is the Mexican anti-crime mayor who was shot and killed on November 1st.
¡Es un derecho! ¡Mi voz no es desorden! 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 ¡Es un derecho!
¡Mi voz no es desorden! ¡Es un derecho!
¡Es un derecho! ¡Mi voz no es desorden! ¡Es un derecho! ¡Liberen a los presos! ¡Son estudiantes! 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 ¡Liberen a los presos! ¡Son estudiantes!
¡Liberen a los presos!
¡Son estudiantes! ¡Liberen a los presos! ¡Son estudiantes!
¡Liberen a los presos! ¡Son estudiantes! ¡Liberen a los presos!
¡Respeto sí! ¡Represión no! ¡Respeto sí! ¡Represión no! ¡Respeto sí! ¡Represión no! ¡Respeto sí!
Saying,
¡Represión no!
respect, yes, repression, no.
¡Revocación a la chichis de limón! 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 ¡Revocación a la chichis de limón!
Thank you to our viewer, Dr. Martha Castro from Mexico. Dr. Martha Castro, our viewer, thinks the international fascist group is in Mexico and wants to destabilize Sheinbaum. Let me make sure I'm caught up on my thank yous. Thank you also to, thanks on Twitch to Bat707DBuilt, Matimus11 on Twitch, Big Fuzzy Nugs on Twitch, Cece on Twitch, Rodders2 on Twitch. Thanks for your support.
Un cuerpo policíaco que lejos de tener la preparación y el servicio para el pueblo, está el servicio a los que le pagan. Un cuerpo policíaco que cuando se les pide atacar al narcotráfico, les hace así.
Con el pueblo muy cabrón, con el narcománico.
Eso, con el pueblo muy cabrón, con el narcománico. Vamos. Duro.
no venimos por la misma causa. Todos los que estamos aquí no estamos apoyando, no venimos por el hartazgo. Estamos indignados, estamos hartos. Es el momento hoy.
He's saying we are angry. This is the moment today.
A Claudia Sheinbaum, que estamos hartos de tu corrupción, de tu inacción, de la falta de presupuesto al sector salud, de la falta de presupuesto para los animales, de la falta de presupuesto para las causas que tienen que ver con seguridad de los ciudadanos. Estamos hartos, indignados, estamos reunidos de una vez por todas para mostrar que la voz del pueblo mexicano se hace oír, se hace valer. Si tú también estás indignado, vamos, únete. Es por México.
He's saying, estamos harto, we are fed up, estamos harto. And he's talking about falta de presupuesto, the lack of budget, the lack of funds, he says, for security, and the lack of funds for, I believe he said, healthcare and animals, the lack of funds for these causes. He says, estamos harto, we are fed up. Hey, thank you, Joe9611. And also, thanks to Sheward Welsh in Mexico. Thanks for your support. Also, Nevea BB over there on Twitch. Thanks, Nevea BB.
Tanto criminal, desastre nacional. Tanto criminal, desastre nacional. Tanto criminal, desastre nacional.
They're saying narco-criminal national disaster.
Y esto es una realidad, que los narcotraficantes están en el partido de Morena.
¡Déjenos pasar! ¡Déjenos pasar! ¡Déjenos pasar! ¡Déjenos pasar! ¡Déjenos pasar! ¡Queremos renovación del gobierno!
I think they're asking to be let through. I don't know if they're being kept out of the Zocalo main square. Maybe they got stopped before they could reach the Zocalo. I'm not sure. I think they're near it.
Así se pusieron con el narco.
Jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido.
And this is the people united will never be defeated.
Una porra para Presidente.
Espérense. Miren. Los está escuchando. Desde aquí los están grabando. Los está escuchando. Díganle todo lo que quieran.
Ahí está la respuesta. Eso es lo que le queremos decir. Oigan, ¿qué le queremos decir? ¿Qué le queremos decir a Claudia Sheinbaum?
Nos comentan que estamos pidiéndonos aviones, que por eso no nos dejan pasar, que hay grúas y las cosas. Yo digo que nos dejen pasar, no nos hacer daño, no vamos a pasar molestias. Déjenos pasar, déjenos pasar, déjenos pasar, déjenos pasar, déjenos pasar.
She's saying, déjenos pasar, let us pass, let us go. Let us keep marching, I think she's saying.
Déjenos pasar, déjenos pasar, déjenos pasar, déjenos pasar. Nadie lo tiene que quitar nuestros derechos.
Es un derecho el que estamos en este momento ejerciendo. El derecho a la libre manifestación, el derecho a la protesta ciudadana, el derecho que
He's talking about that they have a right to free protest. They have a right to demonstrate.
Libertad, 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 libertad.
Yo estoy haciendo frente.
No marchamos por moda, marchamos por un protocolo mal aplicado, donde golpearon a víctimas e inconformes por igual.
No te voy a dejar.
La fuerza del Estado no puede ser ciega. Cuando golpea parejo se vuelve injusta. Indigna ver a quien desea proteger, actuar contra el propio pueblo. No pedimos privilegios, exigimos que la autoridad haga su trabajo sin violencia. Protestar no es un delito, reprimir sí lo es. Somos ciudadanos, no blancos de ensayo para grupos agresivos. De nosotros comen. De nuestros impuestos ustedes comen, carajo. Exijo seguridad, no brutalidad. Exijo seguridad, no brutalidad.
I've also heard and seen some people complaining about prices. There are definitely some complaints about prices in this protest.
Esta es tu lucha, ganadera, escucha. Esta es tu lucha.
Mr. Semiak, our viewer, says that they are steps away from the main plaza, the Zocalo. Again, I think what might have happened, I got to double check this. I think police might have prevented them from actually going into the main square, the Zocalo. That's where they marched to on Saturday, and then there was violence there. So I'm going to try to confirm that they were prevented from going into the Zocalo. If you give me a second. Yes, so Diario 24 Horas, a news account I follow, they say that some access points, the access points to the Zocalo have been blocked. They were detained for a while. For a while, they were on Reforma Avenue. We were watching, and a lot of police were blocking them. Then the police let them march towards Zocalo. But now they're, I guess, being kept from going into the main square.
Resistir el pacifismo. Sí, a ver, vamos silencio, información, por favor. ¡Silencio! ¡Silencio!
Silencio.
Silencio, silencio. A ver, nada más vamos a proporcionarles brevemente la información. Nos dicen que la maniobra que están haciendo para retirar las gradas, el escenario y los aviones va a llevar aproximadamente 6 horas. ¡Ay, que no mamen en su mamá! ¡Que no mamen en su mamá! En este momento hay... Y cuando sea la marcha de ellos, limpiecito. Pesados, grúas, están moviendo todo
los tanques! ¡Por ahí pasamos!
¡Por donde pasaron los tanques! ¡Por ahí
pasaron los tanques! ¡Por ahí pasamos!
Dejamos toda la información y obviamente estamos completamente abiertos a cualquier otra posibilidad para que ejerzan su derecho de expresión. Soy Jonathan Uribe y estoy desde aquí de la marcha anti-Morena, donde nos acaban de decir en vivo y en directo que van a dejarnos pasar hasta 6 horas después. Esta es la respuesta del gobierno que dice ser del pueblo.
Am I right? Were they told they can go into the Zocalo in 6 hours? Is that what they're saying? Are they saying that they were told they would be allowed into the Zocalo Public Square in 6 hours? Yeah, our viewer Sydney says 6 hours to let them in. Some of our viewers are saying that. Green Chromis says 2. So I believe they were told, we'll let you into the main square. They're right near the main square. We'll let you into the main square in 6 hours. which they are not happy with.
Están sacando aviones, están sacando las gradas. ¡Claudia tiene miedo! 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 ¡Claudia tiene miedo!
They're saying now, they're saying Claudia tiene miedo. Claudia Sheinbaum, President Sheinbaum, they say, is scared. Claudia tiene miedo. Claudia is scared.
¡Esa porra para la presidenta! ¡Chingas a tu madre! ¿Y qué chingó a tu madre?
Ya llegaron los grupos infiltrados. No queremos que se lleven a más personas como el sábado pasado. No significa que no hayamos ganado. Ellos nos tienen miedo. Por eso no nos dejan pasar. Volveremos a salir las veces que sean necesarias. Y llegaremos hasta donde sea. Pero hoy no vamos a perder a alguien más. Seguiremos contra Morena, pero volvamos todos seguros a casa. Vamos a cuidarnos, porque a ellos no les importamos. Esto no es una derrota.
¡Tuvo miedo! ¡Nos tuvo 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 ¡Narco presidenta! ¡Narco presidenta! ¡Narco presidenta! ¡Narco presidenta!
Narco Presidenta. Now, I couldn't make out exactly what was just being said in that speech, so I don't want to translate it wrong.
Exactamente como los políticos.
Thank you to Joe 9611. Again, it sounds like they were told a short while ago that they are going to have to wait 6 hours to get into the nearby Zocalo Square, which is where they want to go. A couple of our viewers are saying that they're going to leave. So I couldn't quite tell what she was saying. My Spanish is not perfect. So, but some of our viewers are saying they think that they said that they're going to actually disband. We'll see, or go somewhere else. But again, I believe they were told that they would not be allowed to go into the Zocalo Square for 6 hours. Sydney says, one of our viewers, A.G. Kota, said they will march as many times as they need to get justice. Sydney said they are leaving to not confront the police. Gabe, did they talk about coming back the next day? Our viewer Luck Zep said they will leave peacefully and it's not a failure because Claudia is afraid. That's why she's not letting them enter Zocalo Square. It kind of looks like it's breaking up at the moment. We'll see. I just got there's a second feed that recently started too. Well, I'll stay with this and we'll see what happens. I have two different feeds here. Let me show you the other feed as well. They're still saying Narco Presidenta. I was in Mexico City last December. I was in Mexico City. It's a great city, fantastic city. That sign says Derechos Humanos Fundamentales, fundamental human rights, basic human rights. That's what it says in that sign right there. Oh, look at this. Hold on. Melissa Terry says, are they mad at the cartels, or are they mad at the president, or is she at the cahoots with the cartels? I think they're mad at both. They're not happy with the cartels, but they believe that, hold on, here's the other video here. They believe that the government is too close to the cartels and not doing enough to stop the violence. A lot of the protesters believe that. But you know, we heard protesters. A number of them think there's too much violence, especially violence related to drugs in the country. But we saw protesters holding up and signs and talking about lowering prices. Protesters talking about not enough money being spent on things like education. So there's a bunch of different. People at the protests on Saturday and today seem to have a number of different complaints, but there's a lot of emphasis on anti-violence and also being against the government. Also, a number of protesters upset about the murder of a anti-crime mayor in Mexico on November 1st. Here we go. Oh, there's more police. Look, they're not being allowed. See here, some of the protesters are near the police now. Look at this.
Yo no soy ningún pinche partido. A mí no manda y me puede venir a decir que soy.
It looks like those are, I don't know if those are like civilians or who the people in the orange are. They're kind of keeping the protesters and the police away from each other.
Yo estoy aquí por una niña de 14 años a la que le arrebataron su papá injustamente. Y ella tuvo la valentía de salir a marchar sola.
¡Putos gatos de mierda! Anarquismo contra esta bola de putos.
Just so you guys know, so this is, they are right near the Zocalo. The Zocalo is like the most famous public square in Mexico. It's where the federal government is, and it's like, they're like also in a very big tourist area. A lot of tourists hang out in this. It's a very central area with lots of shops, and it's where the major events sometimes happen, and the president sometimes speaks in the central square. But this is normally a very crowded tourist area right there where they are. So it serves both of those functions, this area. As our viewer Horayo says, it's basically the main square of the city, and there are a lot of public events for residents and political events, but at the same time, it's probably the most popular tourist areas in this area. So a bunch of protesters, I believe, have left, but some are still there, near the police. And that sign says Narco Morena Fuera. And Morena is the ruling political party. So it's saying Narco Morena and then out, fuera.
Cobardes con el narco. Valientes con el pueblo, cobardes con el narco. Valientes con el pueblo, cobardes con el narco.
De todo lo malo que está pasando en México, del huachicol, de todo están recibiendo dinero negro, dinero oscuro, ¿sí? De las pensiones, todo. Acuérdense que han recortado 87%, le dieron a Pemex más de dinero, todo lo demás recortado, amiguitos,
He was talking about dark money.
Presos políticos, libertad. Presos políticos, libertad. Presos políticos, libertad. Presos políticos, libertad.
Y amiguitas, qué resistencia, qué valor y qué amor a México. Por eso estamos aquí. Pero hoy sí se hemos avanzado mucho. Y gracias a todos ustedes. Este movimiento apenas empieza. Yo sé lo que les digo. Yo soy de la sociedad civil. Yo no soy de ningún partido político.
Ya ves que Trump ya dijo que el 24 de noviembre
Narco presidenta, they're saying.
Absurdas. Ya se las ganó.
Aviéntenle su kilo de croqueta.
What's happening over here? Oh, there's some argument going on. I don't think there is actually. what's going on.
Que te venga a ayudar tu presidenta, vendida.
Are those counter protesters?
¡Está cargando la chingada! ¡Cómplices! ¡Cómplices que son! ¡Que te venga a ayudar tu presidenta! ¡Vendida! ¡Vigiladora de programas sociales!
¡Es un robo a la nación! ¡El programa social es Michelle Arrieta! ¡Es un robo a la nación!
I can't confirm this. Our viewer Tony BP says Chaira is a demeaning term for the supporters of the ruling party.
Respeten a la gente.
So there may be counter protesters there. There may be counter protesters there.
Ya, déjense, aquí es una persona, ya, váyanse a su meeting. No quiere escuchar. No,
It's hard to see what exactly is going on. Or a government, yeah, Juan Poon Fan Man thinks maybe there's a government official there. I don't know who's there. Is there a government supporter or a government official? I don't know. Is he holding up a sign?
Revísenlas a ver si no traen teléfono. Me quisieron sacar mi teléfono. Ahorita yo sentí la ciudad, se me pegó y no vi su mano como me puso.
No te la sacó, no te la sacó.
Yo lo traía acá afuera.
Tengo mi mochila cerrada.
de aquí! ¡Fuera, rateras!
¡Sola no pudo! ¡Sola no pudo! ¡Sola no pudo! ¡Sola no pudo!
Quiero publicar un link con todas las evidencias de las violencias para que quiera pueda entrar.
Se llama Neri.
And the police are not letting them go toward the Zocalo, which is this. I believe the Zocalo is this way. Thanks to all of our moderators who have been here. Janet B is moderating. Thank you so much, Janet B. I really appreciate it. Beth Mythical on YouTube. There's some police there blocking the protest from going that way, I believe toward the Zocalo. Thanks to I Got That Fire, Matthew Kohai 3 on Twitch for moderating there. Sarah, Sharon, Kay Lowry Body, Margaret Riley on Facebook. Huge thanks for moderating over there. Linda Belk, Larry, and Misha on X. Thank you. The people demand truth, no excuses, not one more. Justice for Valerie Marquez. Look at this. Look at all the police. Thank you, Mishun. Mishun785 tag. Thanks, Mishun, for becoming a member. Again, thank you to Mishun for becoming a member.
Morena les está pagando.
Oh, sorry. Yes, as our viewer, one of our viewers pointed out, I think it was like Colt Bunny or something, our viewer. Oops, hold on. One of our viewers pointed this out. Again, I think the viewer was Colt Bunny or something. One of the signs was about Valeria Marquez. Valeria Marquez was was shot and killed live streaming in Mexico, in Jalisco, in May of 2025. A Mexican model, businesswoman, and digital content creator. So one of the protesters was holding up a sign about her. This sign says fair prices for agriculture, I think. Viva Carlos Manzo is the mayor, the anti-crime mayor who was killed.
Nos vemos en la próxima ronda, que es la de los militares retirados. No retiremos esta marcha. Sigamos unidos, porque eso es lo que pretendemos. Somos ciudadanos, somos libres, no somos acarreados. Entonces los invitamos a la siguiente ronda, que es la de los militares retirados. Necesitamos unir nuestras fuerzas. Adelante, jóvenes, es ahora o nunca. ¡Que viva México! ¡Que viva Carlos Manzo! ¡Que viva Bernardo Bravo! ¡Que viva el campo nacional! ¡Libres, no somos acarreados!
No entran. Tienen que tener boleta.
¿Perdón? Ninguno de los dos, somos libres. Somos libres, no somos acarreados.
Again, one of the signs somebody was holding up. One of the signs someone was holding up, as our viewer mentioned, was about Valeria Marquez, and Valeria Marquez was a model, businesswoman, and digital content creator in Mexico who was killed on a live stream in her beauty salon in Mexico in May. So one of the protesters was holding up a sign about Valeria Marquez. Thanks to our viewer for mentioning that. You can read more about her on Wikipedia. A number of some protesters are still there. Some of them seem to have left about a half hour ago. So there was a crowd marching towards the Zócalo. Hasta la victoria. Until victory. Toward victory. Hasta la victoria.
Hasta la victoria de la conciencia, no más violencia.
¿Por qué no me entrevistan y sacan en vivo lo que quiero decir? Es pura simulación.
Como diría Zapata, la tierra es de quien la trabaja.
No quiere que salga este informe porque son billetes en la prensa. Prensa vendida.
Youtubers chayoteros, ¿por qué no me entrevistan y sacan en vivo lo que quiero decir? Es pura simulación.
Looks like things are settling down there. I mean, there'd normally be people there anywhere. So, again, seems like the protest kind of stopped after they were told that they would have to wait 6 hours, I believe, to enter the Zocalo. Now, there could be more protests in coming days. Thanks, Martin Gingrich, for your support. I appreciate it, Martin. But things certainly seem to have settled down so from before. Seemed to me like the government didn't want to happen what happened on Saturday when a huge protest entered the Zocalo and there was a bunch of violence. Oh, there you go. The live event has ended. All right, let me. Why am I still hearing something? Oh, is that this? Hold on. We're still hearing audio, but yeah. So, all right. So, just so I'm just going to show you guys real quick. I want to just show you this video again to explain about what happened on Saturday, and then we'll maybe wrap things up after that. But let me one more time, just in case you didn't see it, if you want to know what this is all about.
Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum condemned the violence that broke out
There's a
at
nice
protest
summary
march in
here on Reuters. This is an article from Reuters from Sunday that says, Gen Z-styled protest spread in Mexico, fueled by mayor's murder. And here's a little summary of what happened on Saturday with these anti-violence, anti-government protests and anti-other things protests in Mexico called the Gen Z protests. So let me just show you this real quick from this article in case you weren't, just to catch everybody up.
Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum condemned the violence that broke out at a protest march in Mexico City on Saturday, telling a crowd there was, quote, never a need to use violence for change. Thousands protested across Mexico on Saturday under the banner of Generation Z, denouncing rising violence after the public killing of an anti-crime mayor earlier this month. In Mexico City, a group of protesters tore down fences around the National Palace where Sheinbaum lives, prompting a clash with riot police who deployed tear gas, according to Reuters witnesses. Mexico City's Public Safety Secretary Pablo Vasquez said 100 police officers were injured, including 40 who required hospital treatment. Another 20 civilians were injured, Vasquez told a local media outlet. The Public Safety Secretary also said 20 people were arrested and another 20, quote, referred for administrative offenses. Other marches took place in various cities across Mexico, including in the western state of Michoacán, where anger has flared over the murder on November 1st of Uruapan Mayor Carlos Manzo, who was shot dead at a public Day of the Dead event. A group calling itself Generation Z Mexico that called for the protest has said in a manifesto circulating on social media that it is nonpartisan and represents Mexican youth that are fed up with violence, corruption, and abuse of power. Sheinbaum's government has questioned the motives behind the marches, saying they were organized in large part by right-leaning political opponents and promoted by bots on social media. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum condemned the violence that broke out at a protest.
Okay, so again, we'll have to see what happens with this protest movement in Mexico City. But I wanted to come on today and cover this. I wasn't sure what was going to happen, and it was interesting seeing the protest. But again, today they did not let the protesters go into the Zocalo. I don't think it was as big a crowd as it was on Saturday. It is during the week. We'll have to see what happens, but I'll certainly keep an eye on it. Let me read a few comments here. A special thanks, by the way, we had some people from Mexico and other people who know Mexico and know Spanish. I know some Spanish, but I'm not fluent in Spanish, so I appreciate the help from people in the chat. But yeah, the one on Mexico, I showed you some of the video there, but there are other videos that are even of people getting, like, people hitting each other. In the I believe in the Zocalo, definitely in Mexico on Saturday. There's some on social media, some pretty violent videos. Anyways, so we'll keep up and see what happens. Again, this, you know, I have not heard any kind of reporting suggesting the government is at serious risk or something. There's debate about how widespread they are. Some people say these are manufactured protests and that the right wing is organizing them and bots are promoting them. And some people say, no, they're much more organic than that. There's articles that say this, the Sheinbaum government is widely popular, and this is that a small amount of people, but other people disagree with that. So differing opinions on all of this. Anyways, but I think for right now, we're going to wrap up this stream. So I appreciate you guys joining today, and if there's big news coming out of Mexico, we'll certainly keep an eye on it, and if the news warrants, I will jump on the air. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you want, subscribe, follow the channel, Agenda Free TV. We cover all kinds of live breaking news without an agenda. Agenda Free TV. And turn on notifications, because I don't know when big news is going to happen and I'm going to jump on the air. But we have our own free notification system. Sign up once for free and we send you a notification whenever we go live. We do it through Discord. It's really reliable. I would suggest signing up for those so you don't miss a live stream. The mods will post a link to the notifications in the chat, and you can also find that link on YouTube and Facebook in the description of this broadcast. And also, I cover breaking news when I'm off the air on my X account, which is @Lookner. You can follow me over there if you'd like, @Lookner on X. I'll put a link in the chat. But I'm always posting about breaking news over there. Also, what was I going to say? Oh, huge thanks to our moderators. You know, I love that we can have chat rooms and that we can have people with different views in our chat discussing the news with each other, but it's only thanks to our mods that we can do that. Our mods the ones who are the ones who keep it civil and respectful in the chat. So huge thanks to our moderators for being here. Over there on YouTube, for example, Janet B, Beth Mythical, Leslie Ladyhawk, over on YouTube, and all of our other YouTube moderators. Huge thanks on Facebook, Kay Lowry Body, Margaret Riley, and all of our other moderators there. Thank you so much. And thanks also again to Susan Priest Buchner and Margaret Riley for the Facebook stars. It's very kind of you. And all of our other mods there. On Twitch, I Got That Fire, Matthew Kohai 3, and our other Twitch mods, Linda Belk, Larry, and Misha on X. Huge thanks to you as well. Huge thanks to everybody who donated. That's so nice of you guys. That is what allows the channel to exist, allows me to buy news footage, like the footage today. All the footage today is footage I paid for. So I really appreciate your support for the channel. If you ever want to donate to the channel, you can go to agendafree.tv, agendafree.tv. Let me make sure I thanked everybody. I think I did. Did I ever thank? Cesar Salad. Cesar Salad, I don't think I thanked. Thanks, Cesar Salad. And also Ray XDM. Did I thank Ray in the chat? I think I might have thanked in the chat. And Martin Gingrich and Michun, our new member. And everybody on Twitch I thanked before. So really appreciate your support. Let's see here. What else was I going to mention? Oh, another good way to find out when we're going live, follow us on X, @AgendaFreeTV. If you're on X, I always post there when we're going live. I post updates about the channel there too, so follow over there, @AgendaFreeTV. And for those of you, and thanks to our Discord mods too. You know, we have a chat on Discord where you can chat with other viewers for free. A lot of our viewers like doing that. Check out our Discord chat. It's the same link as the link to the free notifications, the link to our free chat. So check that out if you'd like. And also over there on YouTube, Oops. Over there on YouTube, if you watch over there, I would suggest turning on the notifications there. It's another good way to find out when we're live. But to turn on the YouTube notifications, what you need to do is you need to subscribe first, then click on the bell and choose all notifications. So subscribe, click on the bell, and choose all notifications. Okay, I also want to shout out our Facebook subscribers who subscribe and support the channel over there. People like Sharon Klassen-Goslin and Chuck Mosca. And, oh, thanks, Paul Anderson was modding too. Thanks so much, Paul Anderson, for modding. And Susan Priest-Buchner, thanks for... Susan, I don't believe the protest is going to come back in 6 hours and reconvene and try to go to the Zocalo. I don't believe that's going to happen. But if there's some huge protests tonight, maybe we'll cover it. I'll keep an eye out. Thanks, Martha Crawford, for being a subscriber on Facebook, and Kayla Aribati and Margaret Riley and Shannon Davis Hughes, and Dina Schultz. Thanks so much, Dina Schultz. Oh, and I'm going to answer Dina's question. Hold on a second here. Oh. It was already answered in the chat. Well, there you go. Thanks, Dina Schultz, for being a subscriber. And I'm sorry, I know there were more comments than I got to. So thanks for writing in with your comments. Sorry I couldn't get to all of them. There was a lot of noisy protesting going on, so it was a bit limited. But I appreciate you writing in. Hey, also big thanks to our Twitch subscribers like Wall Street and Shaggy and Gina Pina and Madamus, Big Fuzzy N, and Rodders too. Thanks for subscribing. I got that fire. Chi-Town Bear, FLP5, S4 Sky, S4KY. Douthis, thanks for subscribing. Really appreciate it. And all of our other subscribers over there on Twitch, thank you so much. And our YouTube, all of our YouTube members, thanks so much for being members over there and supporting the channel. People like Gary Baines, CAC813. I did notice, as one of the viewers said, the screen names are messed up again on YouTube. This happened a couple months ago, where they started taking people's screen names, but a bunch of people have like all these numbers in their screen names now. So the names are different. It would seem to be fixed, and now it's different again. Anyways, so Keno Rose, H3X News, Awesome Dude, Sydney, CAC813, Gary Baines, JK Cinar, Joe Hart, Evelyn in Maine, Patricia Grace, UV Lightning, thanks for being members. Michael Avery, and Adventure Taco, thanks for being a member. Walkie Talkie, and all of our other viewers. Leslie Ladyhawk, who's thanks for modding, Leslie. She says it's on the other channels too. Annoying. It was like this a few months ago, and then it stopped, and now it's like this again. So maybe that it's easier when it's not like that, but we'll see what happens. Okay, guys. Thank you, Ben Van. Thanks for watching. Face Neck. Thanks for watching. Appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm glad we were able to get you some coverage of this. Oh, thanks Shannon Davis Hughes, who was moderating as well. Okay. Barry Eisler, thanks for watching. Dennis Britt, Gabe Musa, and Melissa Terry, Anne Marie, and all of our other viewers. Annie Cush, thanks for stopping by. All right, guys. So, Banana Bananu, thanks for watching. ZK4I, thanks for watching. All right, that's it. You've been watching our live coverage of this protesting in Mexico City today. I will keep an eye on things there. If there's some huge protest there, maybe we'll do more live coverage in the coming days. That is it for now. And if there's big news tonight, I'll do my best to get on the air and cover it. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon with more live breaking news coverage right here at Agenda Free TV.